morning. Today we are making the video for packet number 6. It is due next week, Tuesday on January 21st. Remember, if you get it to me by this Friday, you will have the chance to correct mistakes that you have made. Our first page says, when you fold a square paper, the resulting rectangle has a perimeter of 39 inches. What is the perimeter of the original square? So I had a lot of people who were doing different things trying to come up with our answer. Majority of people just thought, oh, I need to just multiply it by 2. Here's why that doesn't work. We have our square paper and we divide it in half to make that rectangle. This rectangle has a perimeter of 39. If I multiply that by 2, it's going to be keeping that middle line, or multiplying that into the equation. But our square doesn't have that inside line in there. That's why we can't multiply by 2. So what you need to think about is if we have a rectangle, we need to look at what that perimeter of the rectangle is 39. How can I get that knowing that this line and this side are the same as the full length here? This is a half, this is a half, because it's broken in half right here when we fold it. So it's really 3 sides that equal 39 inches. Because this is a half, this is a half, 1 full, 1 full. So a half plus a half is a full. So 3 full sides equals that 39. You need to figure out then what each of these sides would be. So if we know 3 full sides equals 39, figure out what math you have to do to know what one side would be. Okay? And then see if it all works out. Half of that side and half of that side would be here. A full side and a full side, make sure it equals 39. Then this same length is the same length up here, it's a square. All those sides would be the same length. Is that making sense? All right, if you still have questions, come and ask me about it. Our next page. Tom has 4 different colored shirts. He's got yellow, orange, blue, and red. He has 4 pairs of shorts, brown, black, green, and purple. How many different outfits can Tom make? So we know shirts are yellow, orange, blue, and red. Shorts are brown, black, green, and purple. So he can have one outfit that's yellow with brown, one outfit that's orange with brown, one outfit that's blue with the brown, one outfit that's red with the brown. Figure out how many outfits with the black, how many outfits with the green, how many outfits with the purple. Add all your outfit combinations up to get your answer. Next page is our 5-card challenge. There are 2 9s in the 5-card challenge. I did have a couple people ask me, well, could we do like 9 plus 3 minus 5 and have it be the 9 of clubs? And then do 9 of hearts plus 3 minus 5? Could we do it twice since there's 2 9s? No. You can only use that. You can't do the same equation saying it's a different 9. 9 is a 9 is a 9. You can use 2 9s in your equation because we have 2 9s showing. We have the 9 of clubs and the 9 of hearts. So you could do 9 plus 9 minus this minus that gets you down to 5. So you can use 2 9s in the equation, but you cannot reuse the same equation claiming it was the other method. Does that make sense? Answers need to equal 5. Ooh, all right, so our pattern page. we need to fill in how many blocks for each figure. One block in figure 1, how many blocks in figure 2? Out loud. No, out loud. How many blocks in figure 3? No, not 5. 6. How many blocks in figure 4? How many blocks in figure 5? So we need to look at what pattern is being followed as we're increasing up. So I can see going from 1 to 3, I added 2. Going from 3 to 6, I added 3. Going from 6 to 10, I added 4. 10 to 15, I'm adding 5. Are we seeing a pattern? Continue that pattern all the way through 10. And then it says, how many blocks in the 12th figure? That's the answer that you put down here. So you're filling in the table and then figuring out what the 12th figure has. Next page. Find the perimeter area of this figure. The figure contains a semicircle connected to a triangle. Round your answers to the nearest hundredth. All work must be shown. So remember, the perimeter of a circle is called the circumference. The formula for that is 2 times pi times r. Did you say bathroom? Remember, it's a semicircle. We need to divide by 2 because we want half of it. We don't need to multiply by 2 and then divide by 2. Just do pi times r because that's half the circle. So you could just do pi times r to figure out this part, and then you're going to add it to the perimeter, the outside part of the triangle. Do not add it to anything on the inside. Perimeter is just the outside. Then for the area of the circle, that is pi times r squared. Remember, when we square a number, we multiply it by itself. We're not multiplying by 2. So that radius, remember, is half of our line. So going from the middle of the circle to the outside, if the full one is 7, our radius is half of 7, so that 3.5 is the radius. Then we need to figure out, so we need to divide it by 2 because it's half of the circle. So find the area of the circle, divide by 2 for that semicircle. And then we want to find the area of our triangle. The area of the triangle is half of the base times the height. The base times the height. So you want half of that. You want to add that to that semicircle's area. Our next page figure shown is a cone. Units are inches. It says centimeters, but he says units are inches. Doesn't matter. Answer the question for your class. All work must be shown. So what we have to do is draw a net and label it. A net for a cone. I've been accepting people that are turning it in as a triangle, but it's not actually a triangle. It's actually curved down the bottom. And then we have our circle. Then you have to label it. That 19 going up the side is the slanty side. So we call that S because it is a slant. That 5 is the radius. So the 5 is the radius. The 19 is the slant. It's not the height. It's not going from the middle up. It's the slanted side. That's important to know because our formula to find the surface area, what we need to do is find the surface area. So to find the surface area, we do pi r squared. If you remember, that's the area of the circle, pi r squared. We add that not to the area of a triangle because it's rounded at the bottom. So it's a little bit different. It's pi r s. So pi times the radius times the slant. So it's important that you're using the right formula for the surface area. Pi r squared plus pi times the radius times the slant. Our next page is our volume page. So again, it's important that we're using the right formula. The volume of a cone is pi times r squared times the height divided by 3. So over here we know our r is 7 and our height is 18. So we are doing pi times 7 squared times that height of 18 divided by 3. We round to the 100th place when we get those decimals. Rounding to the 100th place, do your formula, your calculations, put your answer there. Then it says a cone has a volume of 131 meters cubed with a radius of 5 meters. What's the cone's height? So we're going to take our formula and put in what we know. The volume is 131. That equals pi times our r of 5 squared times the height divided by 3. We want to solve for the height. We want to get the height by itself. So you need to do opposite operations to move everything over to the other side of the equal sign. So we're left with just the height. So this is an opposite operations equation. So for multiplying by pi, we're going to divide both sides by pi. For multiplying by 5 squared, we're going to divide both sides by 5 squared. And if we're dividing by 3, we're going to multiply both sides by 3. So do your opposite operations. All right? Our next page is an interesting page. There are a lot of us having a hard time with this page. Some of the numbers are hard to read. What you need to remember with Pascal's triangle is the two numbers on top, you add them together to get the number on the bottom. So when we are at a box that we're not quite sure what it is, look above it, 2002 plus 3003. I know that's 5005, not 5006, because 2 plus 3 is going to be the 5. So if you get to one that you're not quite sure if it's a 5 or a 6, look at the two numbers above it, add them together, and it'll help you out. So using a pencil, and we say using a pencil because we make mistakes, we need to be able to erase it. This first one, you are going to shade in multiples of 2, all the even numbers. This next one, multiples of 3. We know it is a multiple of 3 if we add all the digits up and can divide it by 3. That's our rule for being a multiple of 3. Multiple of 4 is an even number that I can divide by 2 twice. And then multiples of 5, it ends in a 5 or ends in a 0. So make sure, there's been a lot of people getting slightly wrong answers on it. Let me answer the phone real quick. Hello, this game. Yes. Thanks, bye. All right, our next page, I think is the extra credit page. So our next page is the probability trees. There is not a question for pre-algebra, so I make this extra credit. Some of us are just overwhelmed with the packet in general, so we skip over it. some of us are trying. I have had people get an extra credit point for doing this page. Give it a try. Look through the situation and the solution, then try to do the algebra one. See if you can do it to get the answer. You don't have to. It's extra credit. So if you don't do it, it doesn't hurt you. But if you do it, you can get an extra point. And our last one is that polynomial. Remember, just sliding it over, no rotating, no turning. Just slide over and make it all fit. So that is our packet number 6. If you have questions on any pages after watching the video, make sure you come ask me about it. If you are watching this at home, I hope you are well. Have a wonderful day.